everybody. It's Mrs. Eng, and today I'm going to read a folktale to you all. It's a folktale that I usually read to all the kindergarten children when they come in with their classes. And I thought that if you've heard it before, you would like it, and if you haven't heard it before, it would be a nice story to know. If you remember the ending, don't shout it out to the people that are with you, because I like it to be a surprise for everybody. The book is Anansi and the Moss-Covered Rock. Anansi in this story, which is from West Africa, is a spider. Anansi happens to be a very clever, creative character. He can change his body to be whatever he would like, but in this story, he is a spider. And as you can see, he has created his house to represent what he is, because it has a spider web right in the front. And here he is walking through the forest. And all of a sudden, while he's walking through the forest, he sees a very strange moss-covered rock. How interesting, he says. Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock? Kaboom! Down he went. Everything went black. Oh my goodness. An hour later, Anansi woke up. His head was spinning. He had a horrible headache. What happened? He said. I was walking along, minding my own business, when all of a sudden, something caught my eye, and I said, isn't this a strange moss-covered rock? Kaboom! Down he went again. But this time, when he woke up, he knew what had happened. Aha, he said. This is a magic rock. And whenever anyone comes by and says, isn't this a strange down he goes. This is a very good thing to know, and I know just how to use it. Now, one of the things about Anansi is that he's very, very lazy. He loves to eat, he loves food, but he does not want to do any of the work that's involved with getting the food. So he decided he would go walking through the forest, and he came to his friend Lion's house. And at Lion's feet on his porch are lots of sweet potato. Anansi loves sweet potato. He says to Lion, hello, Lion. Isn't it a hot, hot day today? Oh, yes, Anansi, said Lion. It is terribly hot. Well, I'm going for a walk in the cool forest, said Anansi. Would you like to come along? I certainly would, said Lion. And so Lion and Anansi went walking through the forest. After a little while, Anansi led Lion right to that special spot. Look, Lion, he said, do you see what I see? Oh, yes, Anansi, said Lion. Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock? Kaboom! Down goes Lion. Anansi ran back to Lion's house and made off with Lion's yams. An hour later, Lion woke up. He had a headache, and he looked around, and Anansi was nowhere to be seen. When he got home, he found that every yam that was on his porch was no longer there. Anansi, on the other hand, was very happy. He had lots of yams to eat. Once more, Anansi went walking through the forest. This time, he stopped at his friend Elephant's house. Elephant was sitting on his porch. At Elephant's feet was a great pile of bananas. Anansi loved bananas, but oh my goodness, he's too lazy to pick them himself, because you'd have to climb up the tree and bring them down, and every time you climb up, you get a few bananas. So he said to Elephant, hello, Elephant, isn't it hot today? Oh, it is, said Elephant. I'm going for a walk in the cool forest, Anansi said. Would you like to come? Oh, that sounds nice, said Elephant. Thank you for inviting me. So off they go through the forest, and of course, what does Anansi do? He takes Elephant to that very special place. Look, Elephant, he says, do you see what I see? Elephant looked. Oh, yes, I see, said Elephant. Isn't that a strange moss-covered rock? Kaboom! Down goes Elephant. Anansi runs back to Elephant's house and makes off with all the bananas that are on his porch. An hour later, poor Elephant, he has a horrible headache, and when he gets home, the only thing he finds is a banana peel. that a Nazi left on his porch. Well, a Nazi was very, very happy. He had so much food in his house now, but he still wanted more food, so he went to play his trick on his other friends. He played it on rhino, he played it on hippo, he played it on giraffe and zebra. He played it on every single animal in the forest. In the meantime, if you were in a story time, you would be sitting very close to me and you would be able to see that there is a nice little deer that's camouflaged in the bushes. He had been watching a Nazi all that time, playing that trick on all their friends. So little bush deer decided that it was time for a Nazi to learn a lesson. So little bush deer went into the forest to where the coconut trees grow. He climbed up a coconut tree and threw down a lot of coconuts, carried the coconuts home in a basket, and put it on his porch. And of course, a Nazi can smell food wherever it is. And sure enough, after a little while, a Nazi came to little bush deer's house. He was too lazy to gather the coconuts himself. You saw how hard it was for little bush deer to do it. Instead, he said to little bush deer, "Isn't it a hot, hot day today?" Little bush deer smiled. "Oh yes, it's very hot," a Nazi. "Well, I'm going for a walk in the cool forest. Would you like to join me?" "Yes, I would," said little bush deer. So a Nazi and little bush deer went walking, walking, walking in the forest. After a little while, a Nazi led little bush deer to that certain place. "Little bush deer," said a Nazi, "look over there. Do you see what I see?" Little bush deer had watched a Nazi play the trick, so he knew all about a Nazi's trick. "No," a Nazi, "I don't see anything." "You must see it," said a Nazi. "Look more carefully." Little bush deer looked. "No, sorry, a Nazi, I still don't see anything." Now a Nazi's getting angry. "You must see it. Look over here. Look right where I'm pointing. Do you see it now?" "No," said little bush deer. A Nazi was so angry he was stamping all his 8 legs. "You see it. You just don't want to say it." "Say what?" said little bush deer. "You know. Is that what I'm supposed to say?" "Yes," said a Nazi. "All right then. I'll say it to make you happy." "You know," said little bush deer. "There, I said it. Are you happy?" "No," shouted a Nazi. "You're not supposed to say you know." "What am I supposed to say?" "You're supposed to say, 'Isn't this a strange moss-covered rock?'" Kaboom! Who went down? A Nazi, because he's the one who said it. So little bush deer ran to all his friends, and together they went to a Nazi's house and took back all the good things he had taken from their porches. Now, do you think a Nazi learned his lesson? Probably not, but he was thinking about the next trick he's going to play on all his friends. When we reopen, boys and girls, you can come and check out the book, A Nazi and the Moss-Covered Rock. I hope you enjoyed the story time.